Okay. So we'll do the example here, okay? In Word. So I'll be typing it. I'll try as much as possible to, but I'll go slow, okay? Because I've been typing it. So University of Professional Studies, Accra, was founded in 1965 as a private professional business education provider. In 1999, by means of the Institute of Professional Studies Act, it became a tertiary institution with the mandate to provide tertiary and professional education, accountancy, management, and related disciplines. The school has a student population of approximately 12,000. The school now has a state-of-the-art student center where food, snacks, and drinks are served to students and staff. Nevertheless, a sizable number of UPSA students patronize Antiame's rice and beans food located at Medina Estate, close to the homemade restaurants. In a quest to be able to predict the packs of rice Antiama can sell in a month, she employed an economist to estimate the demand curve for her food. So by sampling a total of 28 consumers, the economist estimated the demand function for Antiama's food as, so this is a demand function. QSD is equal to 107 minus 175 minus 1.5 PS plus 2.25 PY plus 0.5 I and plus 0.75 A, where Q is the demand for Antiama's food, PS is the price per pack of Antiama's food, PY is the price per pack of homemade food, I is the per capita income of UPSA community, and A is the amount of money spent on advertising by Antiama. In addition, the economists also estimated the supply function for Antiama's food as QXS is equal to minus 25 plus 3.5 PS minus 1.75 PL plus 0.25 TS, where QS is the supply for Antiama's food, PS is the price per pack of Antiama's food, PL is the average price of unskilled labor per hour, TS is the level of technology, and TS is the level of technology. Suppose the equilibrium values of the variables in the demand and supply functions are given as, so we have PS is equal to 18 cedis, PY is equal to 20 cedis, I is 400 cedis, A is equal to 20 cedis, PL is equal to 10 cedis, and TS is equal to 30 cedis. So the first question says, determine the quantity of packs of food sold. Then find the demand and supply curves. Determine the quantity of pack of food. Sorry. In the buckets. This is better. Find the demand and supply curves for Antiame's. C. Determine the equilibrium price and quantity for Antiame's food and show the equilibrium graphically. D. Determine the welfare of economic agents, which also means find consumer and producer surplus. Okay. D. Suppose a lump sum tax of 4 cedis is imposed by the management of UPSA. Estimate the new equilibrium price and quantity. So represent the demand curve, the old supply curve, the old and the new supply curves on one graph, and estimate the dead weight loss from tax. So I'll show you what a dead weight loss is. Okay. So what type of good is Antiame's food to consumers? And what's the relationship between Antiame's food and homemade food? Okay, so this is our question. This was like a compulsory question last year. Okay? But there were other things in it. There were so many. I don't know why I brought that. So the first thing you have to do when you have a question like this is to extract the data, like the information from the question, okay? So some of the information we have in the question are the demand curve, the demand function, the supply function, and these variables that are given uh, in the question. Okay, so we are given, so there's 28 consumers here, doesn't mean anything for all the questions that were asked and here. Okay, so you don't need the 28 consumers. When we are doing demand estimation next week, then this will become important. The population of UPSA is not important for us in this question. Okay, what is important for us? The demand function, the supply function, and the equilibrium levels of prices, income, advertising, input prices, and then the level of technology. So in solution, we are given first demand. The demand is demand function. The demand function. We are also given the supply function. We are given a supply function as this. So this is a supply function. We are given these variables, the values for PS and all those things been given. So these are the information that we have from the question, okay? We are going to use this information to solve all the questions, okay? So the first thing we have to do is A. So the A says determine the quantity of packs of foods bought in the market. So the pack of food demanded by consumers in the market, okay? Buying is for consumers. So we have to just substitute the equivalent values of PS, PY, I, and A in the demand function. Please, I hope you have your calculators. You have your calculator?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, because I don't have a calculator. So we'll say in order to find the quantity food bought in the market, substitute for all the explanative variables except, oh sorry, all the explanative variables. Okay, so what you have to do is we substitute in the demand curve, in the demand function. Okay, so we take the demand function. So this is our demand function. And I said no, I don't want this. Okay, so we take the demand function like this. So all that you have to do is substitute for PS, PY, I, and A. And we already said we are given PS, PY, I, and A. So we just substitute these variables into the demand function, okay? So we write the demand function, then we substitute for PS. So PS is equal to 18, right? PS is equal to 18. So 18 plus PY, we substitute for PY to, PY is equal to 20. So this is 20. I is equal to 400. I is 400 here. So we have 400. Then A is equal to 20. So we substitute 20 here. A is equal to 20. So we put 20 here. So this becomes the total quantity of goods bought in the market. Okay. So these are numbers. So we have to just simplify this, and you get so you this 1 minus 175 minus this times this plus this times this plus this plus this. I will give you the total quantity.
So in all, so it's 58.
58. Okay. So and one thing you have to do is you don't have to simplify for this values before because you know the calculator you can put everything together and get the final. So you don't have to do simplification first, okay? In order to waste your time. Okay. So we have Q. So this is the quantity of goods bought in the market based on the equilibrium prices, the prices and the income and the advertising you were given in the question. Okay. Note that this is not equilibrium price. For instance, this PS is not the equilibrium price in the market. Okay. This is not the, you can only find the equilibrium price in the market by using the condition in equilibrium, quantity demanded is equal to quantity supply. And first, you even have to find the demand curve and the supply curve. Okay. Okay, so B. So the B part of the question says, find the demand and supply curves for anti-metals. So we have to find the demand curve and then find the supply curve. Okay. So finding, so BI, finding the demand curve. So you say in order to find the demand curve, substitute for all the explanatory variables in the demand function except for PS. Except Francis, yes. You raise up your hand.
Sir,
Yes.
so from the question you gave us the last time, the A aspect said determine the quantity sold, food packs sold in the market. But this one you said bought in the market.
Which one did I? Which one?
The A aspect of the question you gave us the last time
But I've
said
changed the question.
your food pack sold. And this
What
one,
is it sold? It is selling. So you use the supply curve. You get it?
yes, sir.
Yeah. So except for PS, okay? Except for PS. So this means that we have to bring our demand curve again, demand function again. So this is our demand function. Then we have to substitute for all the explanatory variables except for PS. So we are not going to substitute for PS. We are only going to substitute for PY, I, and A, okay? And we have those values here. So we look at what is given in the question. So our PY, our PY, our PY is equal to 20. I is equal to 400. And A is equal to 20. So that's how I find the demand curve. Note that it's just like finding the quantity sold, but if you substitute for PS here, you will come back to question A, okay? And you won't be able to find the demand curve. So the demand curve, remember that we said the demand curve shows the relationship between quantity demanded and the price of the good, all things being equal. So let me write that one. Note that the demand curve shows the relationship between quantity demanded the goods and the price of the goods, all things being equal. So here I say, therefore, in order to find the demand curve, substitute for all the explanatory variables in the demand function except for PS. Okay, so we do that, and this is equal to what?
85.
Is that
85.
85 minus 1.5 PS.
so? 85 minus 1.5 PS. So this becomes our demand curve. Okay, and we know that as price increases, quantity demanded falls. Okay. So the next thing you have to do is to find the supply curve. So I will copy this one and paste so that I don't have to do that again. So this is II. So finding the supply curve. Supply curve. So you know that the supply curve shows the relationship between quantity supplied of the good and the price of the good, all things being equal. Therefore, in order to find the supply curve, substitute for all the explanatory variables in the supply function. In the supply function, except for PS. Okay. So now we reproduce our supply function. So this is our supply function. So this is our supply function. Then we reproduce and we substitute for PL. Okay. So PL is given in the question as 10 and TS is 30. Okay. So substitute for, okay, so here, let me write it. Substitute for PY so that like you remember what we're doing, okay? Substitute for I and A, okay? Or I should put the values are already here, so I don't want to write it again. Or I should write it.
No say.
Okay, sure. Then so here we'll substitute for PL and then and TS as called S. Okay. So we put PL is equal to 10.
It was 10. Yeah.
Yes. And TS is equal to 30. Okay. Then so we simplify, this is a number, this is a number, this is a number.
Yes, sir.
We simplify this, then we get our supply curve. Okay. So this is
30.
equals what? This is equal to What's the answer?
28.
Negative. Hey,
Minus
negative
Sorry,
35.
35 plus
minus
3.5
35.
PS.
Minus 35.
Minus 35.
Minus
So you can write
35
minus 35.
plus
Or,
3.5 PS.
okay, so I'll write this and bring the negative here. Like it is.
Negative 35.
So this is the supply curve, right? So
Neg-
I don't want to write minus 35.
Negative 35 plus 3.5
Yeah,
PS.
it's the same
It's
as
the same thing.
3.5 PS minus 35. I don't want to write the negative 35 because if you do that, when you're solving it and you forget to bring the negative in the next line, you get the thing wrong, okay? So make sure you write the PS first before you bring the negative, if it is like this. Is it okay? And that's the proper way of writing stuff. So minus 35 plus 3.5 S PS is the same as 3.5 PS minus 35. Is it okay? Okay. So this is a supply curve. So if you are solving a question like this, you don't have to be writing note that the demand curve shows. No. Just finding the demand curve. Okay, so you just write finding the demand curve like this. Then you put your demand curve function, demand function. Then you substitute for PS, then those things. Then you do that and you get the answer. Okay, so you don't have to define what demand curve is and what you are doing. Okay.
I said, but doing that would that give you any marks as well?
That will not give you any marks. That to just waste your time. But that would have been the right way to do stuff. But most of the time, we don't want you guys to just stress yourself like that. But it's a note, so like when you are going over it, like you will know how we're able to get to this final answer like this.
All right.
Is it okay?
Yes, please.
Okay. So we have. So the next question was, determine the equilibrium price and quantity for anti-mess food and show the equilibrium graphically. Okay. So C. Shall this guy? Okay, so now we have demand. So finding equilibrium price and quantity. So we have our demand curve. We have our demand curve as this. So note that. So now we have just S. Okay, so in order not for us to complicate things for ourselves, I'll ignore the subscript S because we are now talking about one particular product. Is it okay? So instead of having 3QSD, QSD, I'll just make it QD. Okay, and I won't bring PS here. I hope you understand. Because
Yes,
now I
sir.
have just one product. Yes, so one product. So I'll do it that so that it becomes easy. So I have Q. Sorry. QD. So this is our demand curve. Our supply curve is this. I ignore the S here too. Okay. Our supply curve is this. So I have Q 3PS. So this is our demand curve and this is our supply curve. Okay. Sorry, this is QS. S. So supply curve, demand curve. So we have to state the equilibrium condition. Okay, so in equilibrium, quantity demanded is equal to quantity supplied and represented by one common quantity. Okay, so in equilibrium, quantity demanded is equal to quantity supplied and represented by Q. What this means is that we have to substitute Q is equal to QD in this equation. Substitute Q is equal to QS in this equation. Okay, so I can name this equation, and name this one equation B. So this means that, so this implies that we can substitute Q is equal to QD Q is equal to QD equation A, and Q is equal to QS, and Q is equal to QS in equation B. Okay. So now we have this. Q. So Q is equal to QD. So put QD to be equal to Q, right? Then Q is equal to QS. So we put that one here, okay? This is equal to
But
Q.
in solving, it shouldn't really be necessary to bring this implies. We can
No, I didn't say that. I said this is not necessary. I'm just explaining why we have this. Okay, so this is just helping you to understand it. In writing, in doing an exam, you don't have to write this. Okay.
Okay.
What the most important thing you have to write is this one. If you don't write this, and you come here, I can mark you wrong. Okay. Because this QD is just the same as this QS. Consumers have their own demand function. Producers, so their own demand curve. Producers have their own supply curve. The quantity demanded here is different from the quantity supplied here. The only time that there's equilibrium is when quantity demanded is equal to quantity supply. Okay, so this is very important that you have to write. Okay, then if you write this, you don't have to write this implies that blah blah, because this means that QD is equal to S, QS is equal to QD is equal to Q, QS is equal to Q. So just substitute them here. Okay, then you get equation 1 and equation 2. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so from equation 1, so this is a simultaneous equation now. From equation 1, Q is equal to 85 minus 1.5 P. Q is also equal to 3.5 minus 35. So this means that the right-hand side are equal. Okay, Q is equal to the Q is equal. That means that these two are equal. Or you can just say you are substituting equation 1 into equation 2, which means that wherever you find Q in equation 2, you substitute 85 minus 1.5 P. Is it okay? So I'll write here, substitute equation 1 into equation 2. Okay, so this implies that 85. So this implies that this is equal to So wherever I find Q in equation 2, I'll put 85 minus 1.5 A there, okay? So 85 minus 1.5 is equal to 3.5 P minus 35, okay? So this has become a simple linear equation in terms of P, okay? So what you have to do next is to group like terms, okay? So grouping, you don't have to write grouping like terms. Grouping like terms. So I didn't teach you simultaneous equation. That is why I am writing grouping like terms and all those things. In our next example, I'm not going to do things like that, okay? So grouping like terms means that we are sending the p's to one side and we'll send the constants to one side. So this is a p and this is a p. So we'll send this p to its brother here and we'll send this constant 35 to the left-hand side. And remember that if a negative number crosses the equal sign, it becomes positive. If a positive number crosses the equal sign, it becomes negative, okay? So here, what we have to do is so I'll reproduce the equation here. So I'll bring 35 here. So I have plus 35 because it's minus. If it causes a equal sign, it becomes positive. Okay. Then I'll send 1.5 to the other side. So 1.5p is minus. So if it causes a equal sign, it becomes positive 1.5 plus 1.5p. Okay. So now I can simplify this one. So 85 plus 35 is equal to what?
120.
I have 120. 3.5 plus 1.5 is
5.
5.
5. So I have 5. 120 is equal to 5p. Remember, I'm looking for p. So I divide both sides by 5, right?
5.
So I have
Get
here
25.
24.
24. So I divide here by 5, and p is equal to this, okay? So I have p is equal to, so 120 divided by 5 is what? 24.
Jessica.
So this becomes my equilibrium price. Okay, so you can name this maybe PE, or you can just leave it P. Okay, nobody will penalize you for that. Okay, so this is your equilibrium price. Is it okay? Okay, so
Yes,
now we can substitute P is equal to 24 in any of these two equations. Okay, so you can substitute it to equation 1 or equation 2. But my advice is you should always substitute it into the equation 1 or the demand function, because if there are taxes, you are going to have different different supply functions. So if you forget and you put it in the old supply function, it becomes a problem for you. Okay. So what you have to do is try and substitute it always in the demand curve. That is the equation 1. If you substitute in the other one, you still get the same answer. So you can try and verify it and see. So here, substitute P, PE equal to 24 into equation 1. And this is our equation 1, okay? So this is equation 1. We have Q is equal to this. So we substitute for P is equal to 24, okay? So 24. And QE will be equal to what?
49.
So QE is equal to 49. So this will be your equilibrium. This will be your equilibrium quantity. Okay. So still we are not done with the question C. The question says that determine the equilibrium price and quantity for anti-MS food. So that's the first part. That's what we have done. Okay. And show the equilibrium graphic. So it means I have to sketch the equilibrium. Okay. And we'll sketch the equilibrium by first. We'll sketch the demand curve, we'll sketch the supply curve. Okay. Okay. So the first thing we do, sketching the demand curve. Sketching the demand curve. So in sketching the demand curve, you know 2 points on the demand curve. So note that equation 1 is not the demand curve. This is the demand curve, the QD, and this is the supply curve. Okay. So Gifty, off your microphone. Okay. So this is our demand curve that we are coming to sketch. So sketching the demand curve. So this is our demand curve that we are coming to sketch. We are coming to sketch this demand curve. So all that we need is we need Q when P is equal to 0. We need QD when P is equal to 0. We need P when Q is equal to 0. Okay. So you just say when P is equal to 0. When P is equal to 0, we have, so we are just substituting for P is equal to 0 here. Okay. So we have QD is equal to 85 minus 1.5 times 0. Okay. And this is equal to 85. So that's when P is equal to, so when P is equal, we'll be able to find Q. Okay. Then we'll do the same thing when QD is equal to and find P. So when QD is equal to 0, when QD is equal to 0, we have, again, we have QD is 0. So we have 0. We have 0 is equal to 85 minus 1.5 P. Okay. So this is a simple linear equation. We'll group like this. We are going to send 1 minus 1.5 P to the other side of the equation. Okay. Since it is minus, if you cause a equal sign, it becomes positive. So we have 1.5 P is equal to 85. And remember, we are looking for P. So we divide 2 by 1.5. Okay. So we divide here by 1.5. Then we divide here by 1.5. So in the end, P is equal to what? 85
56.
56.67.
56.67. 56.67. So that is our price. And that's, so these are the 2 points on the demand curve that we need. Okay. So find the 2 points on the supply curve that we need. Then we'll find, excuse me 1 minute. The HOD is calling.
Jessica, please, can you take us from here?
Maybe you the worry, maybe you the worry. Duncan can take it from here. So,
Right.
Duncan.
Maybe yesterday you were in the class, or are you ready? You
Kojo, they
did that.
talk too much. Why?
I wasn't the one.
Sound the lie. You sound the lie. Brother man, no the lie.
But I didn't ask you to talk, or did I?
No, sir.
Okay. So please off your microphone. Let's continue. So the next thing we'll do is we are sketching the supply curve. Okay. So I'll copy this one because I'm typing. So this is supply, sketching the supply curve. And this is our supply curve. This one. This is our supply curve. So this is our supply curve. Okay. So we also need 2 points on the supply curve. We need P when QS is equal to 0. We need QS when P is equal to 0. Okay. So when P is equal to 0, we substitute for P. So P is equal to 0 here. So we have this. So we have this. So QS is equal to minus 35. Okay. QS is equal to minus 35. QS is equal to minus 35. So economically, this is not feasible. Okay, you can't have negative quantity. Okay, mathematically, this is possible. So because we are combining mathematics with economics, we'll keep this so that we can sketch the supply curve. Okay. Okay. Then when QS is equal to 0, when QS is equal to 0, QS is equal to 0, again we have we have 0 here. We have 0 is equal to 3.5 minus 35. So again, we'll group like terms. So we'll send minus 35 to the other side. Since it's negative, so you can either send minus 35 to the other side or 3.5 to the other side. But I prefer sending minus 35 to the other side, okay? So I have, so it's minus because the equal sign becomes positive, okay? So this is 35. Excuse me a minute, I think the HR is calling me. Come on.
Ye bow down and worship Yahweh. Why the lecture? Why the lecture? Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much for holding the HR call. I think I have an interview on Monday, so
Hey,
yes.
hey. So in fact, you buy me data today
Why?
because my data is finishing.
Don't worry, I'm recording it so you can watch it
But you
later
dash us max.
Okay.
for coming to the class. We can close, so we cry. I'm tired. Okay.
Me too.
Hey, please, you have to dash us like 2 marks. Oh.
For attending class.
No.
Say, Abi,
Please,
will be down
your
with
good
it.
luck. Your good luck to your interview.
We haven't
Yeah.
even done. We haven't even done one. You are talking about Max. Let me teach you the thing, and we'll leave. Max there. Me the man will cry. Me sent it. Me salary sent it.
So let's finish and go.
Yes. So let's finish and go. You people are complaining about data, but you are talking instead of you to allow me to continue with it. Can I continue?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we send minus 35 to the other side. We get positive 35. So we have 35 is equal to 3.5p. Okay. So we are looking for p. So we divide through. Oh, we are looking for p. So we divide through by 3.5. So we divide here by 3.5 and divide here by 3.5. Okay. Then this will be equal to 10, right?
Yes, sir.
P will be equal to 10. So p is equal to 10. So we have the demand curve, we have the supply curve. So what we have to do is to sketch those two curves. So I'll try and sketch them here and see how it goes. Okay, so insert. I'll do this. It's not going to be easy, but I'll try. Okay, so Okay. Then the same thing, but I can go this way. Okay. Perfect. Then I'll draw my demand curve. This is my demand curve. I make sure it touches both axes, okay? Like this. If it passes through both axes too, it's not wrong, okay? This is my demand curve. Then my supply curve. So this is where P on the demand curve is 56.67. Q on the demand curve is 85. Okay, so you put those things there. Then my supply curve, I have QS is negative, so it should be at the left hand side. Okay, we are sketching, so you can start from any point on the left hand side. Then P is equal to 10, and this should be less than this, so it should be like this. Okay, so I'm inserting again. Then it's there. Okay. Okay, so we have this as a demand and supply curve. So we have to find the coordinates, and I have to find equilibrium. So equilibrium, I have to insert again. Excuse me for saying all those things. Okay, so that is it. So that is equilibrium quantity, and this would be.
Sir, excuse you for saying what? I don't understand. Me too.
You should elaborate that because you don't get it.
Abna, you're not serious.
See, I'm serious, but that place I didn't understand, so I wanted you to explain.
Okay. Don't worry, I will explain later. So we have this as a equilibrium price, equilibrium quantity. Okay. Okay. So I'm now coming to this one will take a lot of time. God. So I have a test box. So this test box, I have P is equal to 56.67. 67. Okay, and so I'll copy this one. Then I have here Q. So the demand curve, okay? So the demand curve, I have Q is equal to 80. Q is equal to 85. So I have Q equal to 85. Then I have Q on the supply curve is equal to minus 35. Then P on the supply curve is equal to 10. So P is equal to is equal to 10. Okay. Then we have the equilibrium price. The equilibrium price is equal to 24, right? So the equilibrium price is equal to 24. Oh, what is that? So 24. I'll take this one and drop it here. But if it is your book, you see, you know it will be easy for you to do all these things. Okay. Then equilibrium quantity is equal to 49. So I have P, Q is equal to 49. Then I'll put that one here. And I have the P as this. So this is P as this. So this is P, the P as this. So I'll put P here.
Oh, why some? But you'll be recording on from tomorrow, and I'm a creditors.
I'll send you the recording, why don't worry.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Okay. So this is Q as this. Is it okay? I hope you are following. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Then this is our demand curve. Sorry, supply curve. So is our supply curve. I think I better reduce the, okay, to maybe 10. So that I can do this. So this is a supply curve. And this is demand curve. QD equal to 85. 85 minus 1.5p. So our demand curve is our supply curve. So this is sketching the equilibrium graphically. Is it okay? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So there's one thing that, okay, so this is sketching the equilibrium graphically, okay? So the next question, so that is all about the C. So the next question was to examine the welfare of economic agents. Examine the welfare of economic agents. So all that the question is asking us to do is to find consumer surplus and producer surplus, okay? So because of that, we have to label this vertex. So I told you there's two triangles here. There's this triangle and there's this triangle, okay? So the upper triangle is a consumer surplus because the consumer surplus shows the consumer surplus is above the equilibrium price but below the demand curve. Producer surplus below the equilibrium price, above the supply curve. So there are two triangles. This is consumer surplus and this is producer surplus, okay? So what I'm going to do is I will label the vertex. So here is E, so that will be equilibrium, okay? So I'll label the vertices. So I'm labeling the vertices, vertices of the so this is E. This is O. I'll put A here. I'll put B here. I'll put B here. Then I'll try and put C up there, okay? Try and put C here. So in this case, my consumer surplus will be area of triangle BEC. My producer surplus is area of triangle ABE, okay? Okay, so I can now do the D part of the question, okay? So D, finding the welfare of economic agents. So that's its consumer surplus. And producer surplus. So our consumer surplus, I'll insert a triangle. So our consumer surplus, CS, I can write it, is equal to area. So you have to show us where the consumer surplus is, okay? So it's equal to area of triangle. So this is how we represent triangle. So triangle BEC. Okay, so this triangle, the upper triangle, BEC. Okay, and the area of that triangle. So area of a triangle is half base times height. Okay, so we have half is 1/2 base times height. So in this triangle, we will let this distance be our base. So the base is the distance from this side to this side, okay? The distance from this side to this side. And you see there's a rectangle here, okay? This is a rectangle. For a rectangle, opposite sides are equal, okay? So the distance from here to here is the same as the distance from here to here. Is it okay? Distance from here to here is the same as distance from here to here. And distance from here to here is 49 minus 0. Remember, this is the origin, okay? This point is 0, 0, and this is 49. Okay, so the distance from here to here is the same as the distance from here to here. So that is what we use. So half base, our base is equal to 49 minus 0. Okay, the distance from here to here is the same as the distance from here to here. Now height is the distance from C to B, and that's at the point C, P is equal to 56.6767, and at the point B, P is equal to 24. Okay, so it is 56 minus 24. Don't subtract 56 from 24. You get a negative answer, and that will be wrong. Okay, so we have 56.67 minus 24. Okay, so that is consumer surplus, and your calculator will do all the trick. So this is 49. So 56.67 minus 24 is what?
32.67.
32.67. 32.67. So give me the final answer.
$1,600.
Huh? 1,000.
Sorry.
It's not possible. Add it.
00.42.
800.
415.
800.415. Make sure they can hear.
8004.
800.415.
800 points.
415.
Yes. So that's
Class.
mass of
Dennis is in class, Yankee. That's gay boy's brother. Yankee himself is a name.
Achina. Gloria.
I didn't even know. I knew you pierced them.
Sir,
Yes.
please, is there another way that the question could be twisted?
Twisted like how? This is how it will be twisted. The other one will just tell you to find consumer surplus and producer surplus. But here, find the welfare of economic agents. That's a trick. If you don't know that agents are the consumers and producers, then you be there, then you say, we didn't teach you that.
Yeah. That's
yes. So, but the alternative will be find the consumer and producer surplus.
Okay.
Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
I'll copy these things again and use it for the producer surplus. So producer surplus PS is equal to area of triangle ABE. Okay, area of this triangle of triangle AEB. So area of triangle AEB will be producer surplus. And because we are using, so here is because we are using linear demand curve and linear supply curve. That's why you can use area of a triangle. Okay. If not, you'd have used integration to do it. Okay. Okay. But we are using simple linear, so there's no need for us to even learn integration. So producer surplus here again is equal to half base times height. And producer surplus is equal to, so our base again is the distance from here to here, which is the same as distance from here to here. So that again is 49 minus 0. Our height is the distance from here to here. We subtract the smallest value from the biggest value. So that is 24 minus 10. Okay. We have 24 minus 10. So here will be 49 times 14. Oh.
So you're typing at the wrong place.
But you won't tell me. Bad thing.
That's the only number.
32.6.
So you type SSO.
You've typed supply.
Thank you. So here, producer surplus is equal to 32. So this side we have 24 minus 10. Okay.
10.
24 minus 10. And here will be 14. So what's the final answer?
343.
343 point. There's no point.
There's no point.
Okay. So if you ask you to find total welfare, okay? This question we didn't ask you, but if you ask you to find total welfare of society. So
Shouldn't that be producer
is that
surplus? You've written
total welfare of the society the same as total surplus. It's equal to consumer surplus plus producer surplus. Okay. And this will be equal to 800. 415 plus 343. Okay. So what's the final answer?
1,143.415.
1143.415. Okay. So that is it for D. But this one was not asked in this question, okay? So you have to do this and this one. Is it okay? Yes?
No, sir, please, I don't understand.
You don't understand which one? Huh?
Where you wrote the producer surplus down.
This one?
Yeah, here. Where the CS is equal to.
That's not CS.
Okay.
Are you okay now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm copying and paste something, so that's why those things may happen. So you should remind me or draw my attention. So the D, suppose, that is E. Suppose a lump sum tax of 4 cedis is imposed by the management of UPSA. Estimate the new equilibrium price and quantity. Estimate the new equilibrium price and quantity. Okay. So I'll come here and we'll get E. So suppose T is equal to 4. Find new equilibrium price and quantity. Okay. Okay. So note that, so because there are taxes, you are going to have a new supply curve. So you should know that the tax affects only the supply curve. Okay. So we're already given these two equations. We will define these two equations. So we have demand and we have supply. Okay. We have these two equations. Recall demand is equal to that. So this is demand. This is old old supply. Okay. So the old supply curve is this, the new supply curve is this. So in order to find, okay, so first, note, taxes affect only the supply curve, okay? I know why I'm saying this. Some people were doing taxes affecting the demand curve. So taxes affect only the supply curve. I see my favorite color. Oh. Okay. So in order to find the new supply curve, substitute PT. So I told you there should be different. The PT and the P should be different. Substitute PT, so P underscore T minus T in place of P in the old supply curve. So this is what we are doing. So we have new supply. So the new supply curve, here, QS is equal to this. We have QS. So I'll also bring T here. So that will distinguish this QS from that QS. Okay. So underscore T here. So, or you can write new. Okay. Do you want new or you want T? You want the T. The T is fine, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what this statement is saying that wherever we find P here, we should put PT minus T. Okay. So here, I'll bring the brackets, and it's substituted. So you have to bring the bracket. So the 3.5 will affect the T2. Okay. So P underscore T minus T. So this becomes our new supply curve. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to simplify this. Okay. So we'll simplify this by first expanding the brackets. So this, sorry, this means 3.5 times 3 PT. Sorry. So here our T is equal to 4. Okay. So I'll put in direct. Okay. T minus 4. P minus 4 in place of P. Okay. I'll put 4 here. And I'll put 4 here. I can still put T here so that you know that, but T is equal to 4. Okay. To the new supply curve. Note T is equal to 4. So this would be more appropriate. Okay. So we expand this bracket. We don't need this. Okay, so expand this bracket. So this is 3.5 times PT, right? And 3.5 times minus 4. I hope you know that, how to expand brackets. Okay. This multiplies this and multiply this one too. So I have 3.5 times PT. And then 3.5 times 4 is what?
14.
So minus 14. Okay, so 3.5 times PT, 3.5 times minus 4. Okay, so we simplify this again. These two are numbers, so we just come here. 3.5 PT minus, so minus 14 minus 35 will give us minus 49, right? So this is minus 49. So this become equation C. Okay. So this becomes equation C. This can be equation C. The question says we should find the new equilibrium quantity. Okay. So you just say in equilibrium, quantity demanded is equal to the new quantity supplied. Okay. And this is equal to, then represented by 1. So you can put T here. Okay. So this QT will distinguish the QT we had previously. Okay. The Q we had previously, the 49. Okay. To distinguish it from this one. So in equilibrium, this is what we get. Okay. Then this means I have to substitute for Q, D, QT here. I have to substitute for QT here, right? The QTS here. Okay. Okay. I hope you're following. Yes. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we have Q, Oh. So we have QT is equal to this. Nana Inkum. I'm listening. So this become equation 3. You know, you have equation 1 and 2 already. Okay. Nana Inkum, you raise up your hand. Then this will be QT. Yes.
So please, I wanted to know what does the QT stands for?
So quantity after tax.
Okay.
So distinguish it from the old Q that we have. The questions, is it B or C? The question C. Is you were able to find Q is equal to 49. So this will distinguish it from that one.
Okay.
Yeah. And the PT2 will distinguish it from that one. So here I have to write PT2 here. That's it. The price will be different from this one. So this is equation 4. Okay. So again, from equation, when you substitute equation 1 into equation 4, so substitute equation 3 into equation 4. So in that case, we have this part is equal to this part. Then we group like terms, okay? Grouping like terms. So here, I'm not going to write grouping like terms, or I should write it. Yes, well, let me write grouping like terms. So we'll send minus 49 to this side, then we'll send 1.5 to the left-hand side, okay? Oh. So here we'll send, so this minus 49, if it comes here, it becomes positive 49, okay? So plus 49. Then this minus 1.5, if it comes here, it becomes positive 1.5. So this is plus 1.5. So we simplify this. So 49 plus 85 is what?
134.
134. Then this will be 5, right?
Yes, sir.
1.5 plus A will be 5. So we are looking for PT, so we divide through by 5. So here 5 is equal to, so divide here by 5. So in that case, PT is equal to what?
26.8.
26.8.
6.8. Okay. So that this becomes our new equilibrium price after the tax. Okay. So put this one. So we substitute this into either equation 3 or equation 4. But I'll put it in equation 3. Okay. So that's what I was talking about. So if you mistakenly substitute this into equation 1, you get the same answer. Okay. But if you mistakenly substitute this into equation 2, you won't get the same answer because that's all supply. Okay. So that's why I was saying that it's better to always substitute into the demand curve. Okay. So that you don't make that mistake. You never know examination pressure. One sec. So substitute equation. Substitute P T is equal to this into equation 4, right? Sorry, equation 3. I'll see. One day I'll be someone be okay. So equation 3, we have this. We have this as our equation 3. Okay. So I'm substituting PT to be equal to, okay, let me write this. And PT is equal to 26.8. So QT will be equal to what? Final answer.
44.8.
44.8.
8.
Okay, good. So this becomes a new equilibrium quantity. So that's solve question E, okay? So find the new equilibrium price and quantity. So I'll add some of the questions to it. What is the government tax revenue, okay? How would the agents share the tax per unit? Okay. So the next question was represent the demand curve, old and new supply curves on one graph and estimate the dead weight loss. That's where the problem comes. So this one I didn't teach you that. So I have to reproduce this. So this one has the old supply curve, the demand curve. Okay, so I have to reproduce this this graph. Okay, then I'll draw the new supply curve on it. Okay, so E, that's F or F. So that's F. Sketching the demand curve and the old and new supply curves on one graph. So note that we only know the points for the old supply curve and the new supply curve. So we have to find the coordinate for the new supply curve. Okay, so just say sketching. Oh, nice. Can copy and paste. That'll be awesome. Yay. So we are sketching the new supply curve, okay? The new supply curve. The new supply curve we have here underscore T. And this is 49, right? Minus 49. So when P is equal to 0, we have 3.5 times 0 minus 49. Then, so this will be minus 49. Agreed? Then when QST is equal to 0, we have this to be minus 49. So minus 49 can become positive 49. So yeah, 49. So we have 49 here. So 49 divided by 3.5 is what? Is it 14?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
Okay. So this is what I'll do. So I'll delete this. I'll delete this. I'll delete this. I'll delete this. Then I have to do something to this so that it will be somewhere here. Okay, so that I'll have space to do that. Let me put this one somewhere here. I'll come back for it. Oh, okay. I have to delete this. So insert. Abna. Why not, baby? Okay, so this will be my old supply curve. I'll put it here. Then my new supply curve. So you know this is 10, right? So I'll put this 10 here at this point. Drawing this anyway. So this point is 10, okay? Then here will be 30 minus 35. This side will be minus 35. Let me reduce the font size to maybe 9 so that it'll be easy to. Damn it. So this is minus 35. So minus 49 should be somewhere here, right? Because when I'm going here, minus 35 is greater than minus 49, okay? Then the 14 should lie between 24 and 10. The 14 should lie between 24 and 10. So I'm coming to draw my new supply curve. So I'll start from somewhere here. Then I just draw this. Why I say Ngege? So this one is my new supply curve. Home. Okay. Okay. So this is 10. And then I hope you are following. Something to be.
Yes.
Okay, sure. So this is 10. So I'll copy this. And here it's 14, right? P is equal to 14 here. P is equal to 14 here. So here I have to even bring the T. Oh, no. P is equal to 14 here. So this is equal to 14. So this is equal to 14. I'll put that one here. P is equal to 14. Then first I have to find the new equilibrium quantity. So I have to insert so this is where we have the new equilibrium quantity, right? So our new equilibrium quantity or let me change the color. Can you see that color? Is it okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, sure. Then this is our equilibrium price. So our new equilibrium price. Bingo. Okay. So here Q is equal to 49. Let me make it 8. That becomes small. Here Q is equal to 49 will be here. And Q will be, our new equilibrium quantity was 44.8, right? 44.8. So here Q. So here QT is 44.8. So this is 44.8, right? Our P is 26.6. Now 26.8. This is 24. And here will be minus 49. Minus 49. Aba. Ngwade. Okay. Okay, then let me set this thing again. Oh, Charlie, time cool. How to leave you guys. Okay, that is all. So I have this to be underscore T, and this is 49. Okay. So this is what we have. This is what we have for the new. So this is the new new supply curve, new old supply curve, and the demand curve. Okay, so when the curve shifts, you see our quantity demanded fall from 49 to 44.8. Quantity equilibrium price falls from 26.8 to 24. Okay, so this is how we draw the old and the new supply curves. Okay, so from this, there's something that we call dead weight loss. Okay, so the question says we should find dead weight loss. Dead weight loss. So here we have so before the tax, you see this is our consumer surplus. Okay, sorry, before this is our consumer surplus. This side. Before the tax, this was our producer surplus. Okay, when you don't have this, this was our producer surplus. This was our consumer surplus. This was our producer surplus. Okay, but when there's an imposition of a tax, this becomes consumer surplus. This side, okay? This side become consumer surplus. This side becomes producer surplus. This side becomes producer surplus. So producers are, okay, I have to do something first. So I have to find a point here, okay? So where this quantity, so when firms are selling this quantity, this is the price that the firms will be getting because they have to give some to the government as tax. Okay, they have to give 4 cedis to the government as tax. So when we subtract that 4 cedis from 26, we'll get the actual money that goes to the producer. Okay, and there's a way that we find that one. So we need insert. So a point here, right? I will trace it to this line. So I'll bring it here so that I can put the value there. Okay. I'll bring it here so I can put the value there. And I'll make this green. No. I'll make this green. So I'm tracing it, I'll put it here so that I can put the value there. Okay. So that value here, you can find it. So you wait. So you see this curve is shifting on a parallel way. Okay. So the distance between these two lines is equal to the distance between this point and this point, right? Do you get it? The distance between, you said?
Come again.
the distance between these two lines, right? These two, right? The distance from here to here is 14 minus 10.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, sir.
It's the
Yes,
same
sir.
as it's the same as the distance between here. So the distance between these two lines is 4, right?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay? So the distance
sir.
from here to here is the same as the distance from here to here, right? The distance from here to here is the same as the distance from here to here. I hope you get it.
Yes, sir.
Because there's a rectangle be here, right? So the distance from here to here, the same as the distance from here to here. So this point is 26.8 minus 4. Is it okay? So we have two ways of finding that point. You can just subtract. So you can just subtract. You can just find this distance, then you subtract it from this equilibrium price, okay? And you get that one. So that would be 22.8. Another way to find it is to substitute this Q, the new equilibrium quantity, into the old supply curve, okay? So if you subtract this new into the old supply curve, you get the price, okay? That consumers will get. So I'm not going to bore you with that. So so before the tax, this whole thing was consumer surplus. This whole thing was producer surplus. After the tax, the consumer surplus is this, okay? This small triangle here. The producer surplus is this triangle, okay? This triangle here. And here, this rectangle here is the government revenue, the amount of money that goes to the government, okay? Because the distance between this and this is the value of the tax, okay? The value of the tax is 4 cedis. So this times is the 4 cedis times the total quantity sold. So this area of a rectangle, this is the amount of money that goes to the government, okay? So now we have producer surplus that goes to the producer. We have consumer surplus consumer surplus that goes to the consumer. Producer surplus that goes to the producer. We have tax revenue that goes to the government. So you see this small triangle here, right? So this small triangle is part of the total surplus. It doesn't go to the consumer, it doesn't go to the producer, and sure doesn't go to the government. So that is what we call deadweight loss, okay? This is what we call deadweight loss. Deadweight loss. So here I can label this places. I can label here as Y. Let me see if I can do that. Oh, crap. Then I can label here as F. Then I can label here as G, okay? Or FEG. Then I will have a triangle. This will be my triangle.
Please go over the deadweight loss for me again, Abeg.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that before the tax, this was our consumer surplus, right? We'll find the area
Yes,
of this
sir.
triangle. And before the tax, this was our producer surplus. So this big triangle was our total surplus, right? When there was an imposition of a tax, now price has increased, okay? So consumer surplus will decrease. So this will be the consumer surplus. Do you get it? This will be the producer surplus. This side, this triangle from the green line here down here will be the producer surplus. Okay. Then, then this will be tax revenue to the government. Okay. The tax revenue to the government is the per unit tax times the total quantity sold. The distance between these two lines is the per unit tax. Okay, times this quantity will give you total tax revenue to the government. So you see, this goes to the consumer. This side of the old total surplus goes to the producer. This middle rectangle here goes to the government. Okay. This is part of the consumer surplus in the old before the tax. It doesn't go to the consumer again. It doesn't go to the producer. It doesn't go to the government too. This side too doesn't go to the producer. It doesn't go to the government. So this small triangle is lost to society. Society cannot account for this. Okay, this is so this is the disadvantages of taxes. Okay, the disadvantages of taxes is what we call deadweight loss. It is loss of the total welfare that doesn't go to the government, it doesn't go to the consumer, it doesn't go to the producer after there's an introduction of a tax. Okay, we call that deadweight loss. Okay, and it is this triangle. So you see this triangle, it has two different triangles. Okay, so this triangle is what I'm talking about. So I can label here P. I'll try and do that if it is feasible. So that I name that triangle. Okay, so I'll put E here. I'll put E here. And I'll make it very small. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see it. So this is E. This is F. So I'll put this F here. So I'll bring this F here, okay? I'll try and put it there. Okay, so that is F. Then I have G. So I'll put G here. So there will be G, okay? So deadweight loss is a loss of the total welfare of the society. That doesn't go to the producer, the consumer, and the government, okay? It is there. So I insert an equation. Oh, I hope Abna is not here, so I can say my terms. I can say insert without any problem. So deadweight loss. Deadweight loss is equal to area of triangle FEG. Okay, so this small triangle here. Okay, so if you draw the curves where you see, you get a triangle here. If you trace this to the other side, okay, triangle FEG. Okay, triangle FEG. That's deadweight loss, and we know area of a triangle is half base times height. So it's 1/2 base times height. So here, this is not a rectangle, a right angle triangle, okay? So here, the only base you can get is the distance from here to here, right? That's the base. Distance from here to here is our base. Our height is the distance from here to here. Agreed?
Yes.
Okay. So our base is the distance from here to here, which is the same as distance from P is equal to 26 to P is equal to 22.8, or you can just find the distance between 10 and 14, okay? This distance is the same as this distance, which is the same as this distance. Is it okay? Okay, so here the distance is 26.8 minus 22.8, or the base is actually the value of the task. Okay, the value of the task is 4. The value of the task is the distance between these two. Okay, the value of the task. So the base is just the value of the task. Then the height is the distance from here to here. Okay, the distance from here to here is the old equilibrium quantity minus the new equilibrium quantity. Okay, so this is equal to 49 minus 44.8. Okay, so dead weight loss is equal to 4 times, this is what? 49 minus, is it 4.2? Is it 4.2?
Yes. Yes.
So this is 4.2.
Yes, sir.
So your final answer will be equal to what? What's the final answer?
8.4.
8.4. Okay, so you can use this formula. Or alternatively, you can just say the dead weight loss is equal to the area of this triangle, because you have to show us what the dead weight loss is. The area of this triangle, and the area of a triangle is equal to half base times height. So I'll put all here, big O. So all here. So this is equal to half base. So the base is equal to the tax per unit, okay? Tax per unit. We know the distance between 14 and 10 is 4. The distance between this and this is 4. So that's the tax per unit, okay? So if you forget to find this point, okay? So that's the tax per unit times the old equilibrium quantity. So I'll write it in English. Old equilibrium quantity minus new, okay? So how? So old equilibrium quantity. So I'll make a quantity short minus new equilibrium quantity. So I'll do it like this so that you get it. This is equilibrium quantity, right?
Yes.
Okay, sure. So that will be this, okay? That will just be this side. So that formula will produce this. By here, task per unit is 4. Okay? So that you get your answer. Is it okay? So you can just write it like the dead weight loss is equal to this, okay? This, you don't need this one. So the dead weight loss is equal to the area of that triangle, and it's the task per unit times old equilibrium quantity minus new equilibrium quantity. So there's the height, and this is the, let me bring this so that you know that is the height and that is the base. This is the base. Yeah. So that is all about that. So you see how this side is. So this is what, so from up here, we did all this thing in quantitative methods. Okay. So this is what we added to it. So let me solve the last 3 questions, then we close. Or I should stop. That one you can do it, right?
We are with you.
No, sir.
Okay.
So let's go.
Yes. Then let's do it.
Spoon feeding part. Yeah. Mobile school. Why? So the last, the G, what type of good is anti-mess food to consumers? Okay. So what type of good is asking about whether it's a normal good or inferior good? And I told you, if it is normal good or inferior, you look at the coefficient of price. Sorry, the coefficient of income. Okay. You look at the coefficient of income in the demand curve. Okay. So let me reproduce this down there so we won't have to come back. So you will say now, this is a demand curve. Oh. So now, this is a demand curve. This is a demand curve. In finding the type of good, we have to consider the coefficient of income. I. So here, since the coefficient of income is positive, anti-mess food is a normal good. Okay. If it is negative, it will be an inferior good. That's all, right? What type of relationship exists between good S and Y was our next question. What type of relationship exists between good S and Y? So here we are using the same demand function. So in order to consider the type of relationship between food and homemade food, we have to consider the coefficient of price of related good. Y. What is equal to PY? So PY. So since the coefficient of PY is positive, anti-mess food and homemade food are substitutes. Okay. Yeah, substitutes. So then I brought a question, what is a government tax revenue? Okay. So insert an equation. Government tax revenue is equal to tax per unit So the task I will give you in the question times you know this star is times, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you let me do this. I'm passing there. Times new equilibrium quantity. Okay, so this is how the government tax revenue look like. So so tax per unit is equal to what? 4. The new equilibrium quantity is equal to 44 point something.
44.8.
44.8.
44.8. So government tax revenue is equal to what? Give me an answer. Or I should use my phone.
179.2.
179.2.
179.2. So that's the government tax revenue. So if you come to this graph, okay, so government tax revenue, I told you, is this side, okay? So this is the area of a rectangle. So the distance from here to here is 4, which is the same as distance from here to here. And then, so that's the tax per unit. And the distance from here to here is the new equilibrium quantity, okay? So that's why you have that.
Okay.
Then I brought another question.
Hey, Papa, wait.
Hey, hard.
I remind them. Tougher.
I'll give you very soon. I'm going to perform ablution.
I'll go. So, last one. Let me do this last one. Let me do this last one. Oh. Let me do the last one. So how would the agents share the tax? So we have to look at consumer share of tax per unit and producer share of tax per unit, okay? So how would the agents share the tax per unit? So we have to find consumer share first, because consumers are the one that pay the price in the market, okay? So consumers share of tax is equal to new equilibrium price minus old equilibrium price. So this is equal to, so the new equilibrium price is equal to what? 26.8 minus 24, right? Right?
Say yes.
So this is equal to 2.8. So they'll pay 2.8 per unit. If you ask you to find the their total share of the tax revenue to the government. You have to multiply this by the new equilibrium quantity. Okay. But this is per unit. So if their total share, so per unit, they are paying this. Okay. So let me write per unit so that. Then producer's share of tax. Producer's share of tax. Producer's share of tax is equal to the tax per unit minus consumer share. So the tax per unit is equal to 4 minus consumer share is 2.8. So last quarter. So this is 1 point what?
1.2.
So this is 1.2. So producers will pay 1.2 per unit from the 4 cedis tax. So that's all. So I'm sending you this one now because this one there are no mistake in it. Okay. So I'm sending it to you right now. Then I wasn't able to do the corrections in the notes. I'll do it for you and maybe tomorrow you get it. I don't go to church, so I'll do it tomorrow morning.
Hey.
After going.
You are like me.
But the church are gonna leave.
Yeah, I'm not on leave, Majai.
You are like me. I don't go to church.
Yeah, Francis.
Hello, Doc.
Yes.
Doc, please, we'll be happy if you could add the Microsoft Word of the solution.
That's what I'm. Okay, I shouldn't do it PDF.
We want you to send the Word. Okay, do it
Oh,
PDF.
no, PDF first.
PDF will be better because
Yeah.
you can't read Word on your phone. Some people may read it on their phone. So I'm sending the PDF.
Yes, sir.
Sir, but please, will you send the recording also?
Yeah.
Why won't I send the recording?
So why would he record it and keep it?
Why would I record it and keep it immediately?
Oh.
Well, I'm now going to learn.